Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to use the belt sander in a safe and effective way. So first of all, you wanna buy your belts from the shop. There are two options. There's a 320 grit, it says it right there. And there's a 120 grit, it says it right there. Obviously 120 being more aggressive, 320 being less. I always like to start with the less because it's not gonna catch your work as badly. If you find that your work gets thrown around a lot, you might step down to that 320 grit. If you're not getting enough grinding done, step it up to that 120, okay? All right, so let's get these belts installed because right now there's nothing here. So first thing you wanna do is remove this cover. You're gonna do that by unscrewing this little knob here. You also want to remove this little plastic cover over the top of it. To do that, you're gonna use the screwdriver, which will be attached to the machine here. You're just gonna lefty-loosey two little turns, and that should pop right off, okay? So that's off. Now I can pull this off, and now you can see the inner workings of the belt sander. So to put the belt on, you wanna be considerate of the direction of the arrow. So you'll notice there's an arrow here, there's an arrow here. You want those arrows to match, right? So you're gonna start by putting it on the little wheel and the big wheel. And then when you're ready to put it on this wheel here, you're gonna push in. See that move? And now I can slide the wheel around the back of that, okay? So again, that's just a push in here, and that allows you to get enough space to slide that belt in behind the back. Once you've got the belt in place, you do want to make sure it's all the way on the wheels to make sure it's not sticking out anywhere. And then you're going to reassemble the machine. Put the cover back on. Maybe. There are two little tabs down here that you can insert into that case that will help hold it in place. Apparently I'm not getting it. There we go. There we go. And then put the plastic cap back on. And then you're gonna screw everything in. So plastic cap, righty-tighty, knob for the cover, righty-tighty, all the way. So now everything's put in place. I do like to make sure that my machine is nice and stable when I'm working on it, so I will clamp it to my work surface. So that's just gonna go right here. And I just like to make sure that, again, everything's nice and secure while I'm working on it. And this isn't gonna wiggle around. This does create a decent amount of vibration when you're working on it, so it will tend to dance around otherwise. Okay, now you're ready to use the belt sander. You wanna make sure you're wearing your safety glasses and your dust mask. As you're using this, this is a dangerous machine, so do respect it. Be mindful of the fact that there's a fast spinning belt. Okay, ready to turn it on. I'm gonna flip the switch, which is right here. If this belt is not in the middle of this plate, you can adjust it by turning this knob a little bit to the left. It goes this way, a little bit to the right, and it goes this way, okay? That's all there is pretty much to it. You're gonna use it as you need to, and then once you're done, you're gonna take your belt off because this belt belongs to you and you don't wanna leave it for the next person. So lefty-loosey again on the top to remove that little cap, lefty-loosey to remove the cover, throw the knob across the room, and now you're ready to take your belt off. You're just gonna slide this belt off and it's just gonna come right off. You'll probably notice there's metal everywhere. Take the time to go ahead and clean this up so it's nice and tidy for the next person. There is a broom and a dustpan in our stash of things, and it's real easy to just sweep all of this out, make sure the station is nice and clean, because like I said, there will be metal everywhere. One of the other things that you will want to keep in mind when you're using this machine is that there's a lot of friction that gets created, which means your metal's going to get hot. Okay, so be prepared for that. You don't really want to wear gloves when you're using this machine because you don't want your gloves to get caught and rip your hands, but you do want to make sure that you're taking your time and letting your metal cool down so that you can handle it and you don't burn your fingertips. Another hot tip that I like to use is I actually like to have water nearby, and I can just dunk my piece in water to cool it down really quickly. Okay, so that's how you use this. Make sure you put it away just like you found it, nice and clean and tidy with all the pieces assembled back together. And like I said, belts in the store, help yourselves.
If you have any additional questions, you can refer to the manual found in the shared tool cabinet with the belt sander.